Thank you for joining us. By following the guidelines in this presentation, together we all can do our part recovering after a storm as quickly and safely as possible. Now let's take a look at the 2021 hurricane season forecast. Hurricane season is June 1st through November 30th. The 2021 hurricane season is forecasted to be above average and similar to 2020. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is predicting 13 to 20 named storms with 6 to 10 hurricanes and 3 to 5 major hurricanes, Category 3 and above, with winds of 111 miles per hour or higher. The peak of season where tropical activity increases is typically mid-August through late October. Remember, it only takes one storm, so preparation now is key. Understanding a storm. Watch versus warning. Hurricane watch means hurricane conditions, sustained winds of at least 74 miles per hour are possible in the area within 48 hours. Hurricane warning means hurricane force conditions, sustained of at least 74 miles per hour, are expected in your area in 36 hours or less. Looking at the Saffir-Simpson scale regarding the 5 categories of storms, it's important to know additional hazards beyond wind speed can include heavy rainfall and flooding. Remember, the storms category only tells you about the storm's wind speed. It does not tell you about the life-threatening rain or flooding. Did you know that 90% of the deaths after a storm involved water and not wind? This includes coastal surge, inland flooding, rip currents, and rough surf. Let's take a look at steps on how you can prepare now. Here in the village, safety of our residents is our top priority. We want to be sure you are prepared. That means taking care of your family, your home, and your pets. Make sure your gas tanks are topped off, your gas grills and generators are filled, and you have a plan to get your house shuttered. Knowing your zone is important. You can go to readypbc.com to see if you are in an evacuation area. Knowing what to do is your best protection, and it's your responsibility. Make a family disaster plan and practice it with your family members. Also create your home emergency supply kit. The time to prepare is now. Let's take a look at a disaster supply checklist. Items you want to be sure are in your disaster supply kit are listed on the screen. Be sure to have enough food and water for at least 7 days, 2 weeks worth of medication, flashlights, batteries, non-electric can openers, and special needs items such as items for infants and family members with disabilities. Check out the State of Florida Division of Emergency Management website, floridadisaster.org, as an official source for all the latest emergency plan templates for your home and business, supply kit checklists, and valuable information. Now that we have reviewed our family plans and checklists, let's talk about protecting your home. There are ways you can protect your home now, such as trimming trees away from your home. Once a storm has been named, do not cut down trees or do major yard work, or start to remove old bulky items. This puts a tremendous burden on the normal collection process. There is not enough equipment or manpower to collect the additional materials. You can not only put yourself at risk, but your neighbors as well. Another key way to protect your home is making sure you have tested and approved hurricane window coverings to put up when the storm approaches. Also, take pictures of your home inside and outside before the storm in the event you have to file an insurance claim. Hurricane Evacuation Shelters. Palm Beach County operates hurricane evacuation shelters across the county. There are 15 evacuation shelters for the general population, 2 special needs shelters, and 1 pet-friendly shelter. These shelters are a refuge of last resort, a place to go if you can't stay at home or with a relative, friend, coworker, or nearby hotel. If you choose to use a shelter, shelters are not able to provide any conveniences or luxuries. Food and water might be provided, but do not rely on that. If you go to a shelter, here's what to bring: a 3-day supply of water per person, prescription and emergency medications, special diet foods, basic snacks, comfortable clothing, collapsible folding chair, baby formula, diapers and bottles, flashlight, extra batteries, a cell phone with battery-operated charger, eyeglasses and hearing aids, facial coverings, gloves, and sanitizer, and specialty items for the elderly. Palm Beach County has established a special needs shelter program to provide for citizens with certain medical conditions during a major emergency. The special needs shelter is a facility with physicians and nurses on staff. It has auxiliary electrical power, is wind resistant, and not flood prone. The shelter is not a medical facility and provides limited services. Spaces at these shelters are limited and is based on need and established criteria. You must apply in advance by completing a form online at the website on the screen. If you need to speak with a special needs coordinator, please call 561-712-6400. If you do not qualify for a special needs program and need transportation only to a shelter, you must meet the criteria and be pre-registered with PalmTran Connection. To register, call 561-649-9838. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about planning for our pets. If you plan to remain at home during a disaster, or if you plan to leave your pet at home when you evacuate, you'll need to be prepared. Be sure to have at least a 3-day supply of food and water for your pet, bedding for your pet, placed somewhere that will not be vulnerable to flooding, a collar with your pet's county rabies license tag attached. Make sure your pet's ID and rabies tag is up to date. Call 561-233-1272 to update records. After the storm. After major storms, our lives can be changed drastically. Remember, the longest part of dealing with a hurricane is the recovery process. There may be residual flooding and roads may be blocked. Never drive through flooded roadways. Treat intersections with missing non-working traffic signals or missing stop signs as 4-way stops. Obey curfews. If you evacuated out of the area, listen to local media for re-entry information. Power may be out for an undetermined period of time. This means no air conditioning, no lights, no refrigeration, and no stove. Telephone service will be out or limited. This includes 911. Even if your phone works, use it only for emergencies. Sewer lift stations may not work, meaning toilets will not flush and sinks not drain. Keep safe. Be cautious of downed power lines and standing water. Picking up the pieces. Hurricanes can inundate the region with millions of tons of debris, including normal household garbage, appliances, construction demolition debris, and yard debris. A large part of the recovery process for the Village of Wellington occurs with the debris removal process. These specific guidelines must be adhered to when hauling hurricane-related debris and household garbage. Adhering to these guidelines will make for a speedier removal and cleanup process. Homeowners will be asked to separate debris into the following categories: household garbage, construction debris including drywall, building material, carpet, furniture, and mattresses, vegetative debris including tree branches, leaves, and logs, and white goods, which include appliances such as refrigerators, washers and dryers, air conditioners, and stoves. Insurance and home repairs. Before the storm, make sure you review your coverage annually with your insurance agent. Know your coverage limits as well as your deductibles. Take pictures of your home before and after the storm. This documentation will help if you need to file a claim. After the storm, inspect your home for damage and report to your insurance agent or insurance company immediately. Repairs. When help arrives, do not sign contracts until you have checked out the contractor. Do not pay in full for any services until the work has been completed. Ask for a valid contractor's license. What is Wellington doing to prepare for hurricane season? Before the storm, the Village has established emergency contracts to assist with recovery efforts, such as debris contractors and mutual aid agreements. With the assistance of grant funds, the Village has implemented numerous hazard mitigation projects, ranging from roadway and drainage improvements to generators at lift stations. The Village coordinates with multiple agencies, including the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, Palm Beach County Division of Emergency Management, FP&L, local hospitals, and community groups, including homeowners associations, year-round. Village staff is trained and staffed to coordinate the response and recovery efforts. Throughout the year, our Surface Water Division works to ensure our canals and drainage system is clear of obstructions. Prior to landfall and during the storm. During major disasters, the Village of Wellington will activate its Emergency Operations Center. The EOC activates a call center that is staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, before and during the storm. The Village provides continuous communication from Village officials throughout the event through the use of social media, press advisories, and signage. Surface Water Management maintains enhanced monitoring. On-site storm teams working before, during, and after the storm secure Village facilities. Village crews are deployed at various staging locations throughout the Village to start clearing roadways obstructed by debris to allow for the clearance of emergency response vehicles. After the storm, the Village works to restore critical community lifelines and infrastructure. In addition, recover the Village physically and financially from storm-related damage. We have listed on the screen important contact information that you might find helpful. The Village wants you to stay connected. Like us on Facebook and Twitter. Visit wellingtonfl.gov/storm for important storm updates. Or tune in to Comcast Channel 18 or AT&T UVerse Channel 99. Tune in to 1680 on your AM dial. Alert Wellington. The Village utilizes a mass notification system called Alert Wellington. Please be sure to register yourself by visiting wellingtonfl.gov/Alert Wellington to create an account. Thank you for joining us. We want to make sure you and your families are prepared and remain safe before, during, and after any emergency event.